Meech. Type shit. Meech.
Finesse, baby.
Stumping out the garbage can, hard lead, tall on my dick, all of my heart, pitch black, damn. Goof from out the garbage can, hard lead, tall on my dick, hard on my damn. Goof from out the garbage can, hard lead, tall on my dick, drum on my heart, pitch black, damn. Goof from out the garbage can.
Finesse,
Yeah,
baby.
listen to that. Items that was stole, wrist in my back to get the facts. Literally wrist in my soul to walk in my shoes, an inch in stature. Digging a visible hole, the imminent road, they get to the activists. Whites be willing to show emotion at protest, they act offended. Niggas clashing mentally in competition. Teach you need an evil corporation for cooperation. Keep the lean and weed in moderation. Cleveland doctors have freaks increasing, scheming, watching weekly. Need a documentary. Keep it PG-13 like it's Disney, trying to hide the cookie. Eat it, no, but deep inside the jar, my fingers got them buried. Speeding on police like I ain't worried if the lights encircling. Think of death and sleep throughout the evening. Kill me bright and early. Fuck it, the whole world is out to hurt me like the Warriors movie. Corridors thought you walking through me. No one older knew me. No one homie who was closer to me. I see annually. I can trust a woman. Intercourse is how we matrimony. Cameras capturing the flash of moment. I've flown it. Now everybody else that probably want it. Opponents, oppressor by oppressor getting molded. Erosion, compression from the ghetto out the cold where I'm imported. From out the garbage can. I'm probably do it again.
Finesse, baby.
Listen, let's move on and talk about something else. About Steve Harvey. And I'm going to get Mark, and then I'll get the others in. So, Mark, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey went to Trump Tower and is taking a lot of backlash for meeting with the president-elect. What do you make of this controversy?
You know, I love Steve Harvey and I have respect for Steve Harvey, and I think his intentions were accurate or appropriate rather. But my disagreement is the way in which he's being used by folk like Donald Trump. Again, his intention is just to have a seat at the table. But when you're at the table, you should have experts at the table. You should have people who can challenge the president at the table. I don't care if Steve's there, but if I'm Steve Harvey, I'm bringing Michelle Alexander. I'm bringing Cornel West. I'm bringing Amani Perry. I'm bringing Eddie Glaude. I'm bringing Michael Eric Dyson. I'm bringing some folk with me who can challenge the president and inform the conversation. Otherwise, you're just being
Bruce,
trumpeted
why
up
are
there.
you saying, oh my God?
So you were at the meeting. You heard and saw everything.
I don't understand how anything I said would prompt that question.
Listen.
Unless Steve Harvey turned into a policy analyst in the behind-the-scenes meeting, then it doesn't matter what I was there. I'm saying my concern is with the people he's trumpeting up and putting in front of the cameras.
Mark, you weren't even there. You don't even know what happened. Here's the deal. You don't know what happened. First of all, Pastor Darrell Scott, Michael Cohen, they are in a process of bringing all types of people from all over the country, from all different backgrounds, like we have, remember the Diversity Coalition, where we reach out to all different types of people?
It was a bunch of mediocre Negroes being dragged in front of TV as a photo op for Donald Trump's exploitative campaign against black people, and you are a prime example of that, sir.
How are you going to, so now you want a name call, Mark?
Simone, you better jump in if you want to talk.
Now you want a name call.
Name calling?
Now you want a
am DeMarco Morgan, a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
My name is Chesley McNeil.
My name is Samuel Crenshaw.
The name of my fraternity is the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
And we do like this.
I do!
I'm Donna Lowry with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
So we decided on that day that we would go no other way. We cried destination, aka destination, aka.
I am Blaine Alexander. I'm one of the reporters at 11 Alive, and I am also a dynamic diva, a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
I'm Karen Greer. We may belong to different houses, but we're all a part of the same trusted family. We may belong to different houses, but we're all a part of the same trusted family. $11 Alive.
Proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
It was a bunch of mediocre Negroes being dragged in front of TV as a photo op for Donald Trump's exploitative campaign against black people, and you are a prime example of that, sir.
I'm sorry, we Omegas. Yeah, I was trying not to do that on the Praise the Lord. I'm sorry, we Omegas. Yeah, I was trying not to do that on the Praise the Lord.
This is a lifestyle, and the legacy continues. All we do is teach and discipline. That is all, and that is it. All we do is teach and discipline. That is all, and that is it.
All we do is teach and discipline. That is all, and that is it.
Damn.
Don't tell us but we will pull that car.
Good bros.
You wonder why that fine new pie. But they don't understand it's super time. I wanna be a new gamma guy. Let that ass at you, that fine new pie.
Pop a perky just to start up. Pop it. Pop 2 cups of purple just to warm up.
Like my teeth in front of my ass. My ass in front of my teeth. Let me see that train. It feels so good to me. I love my
and let me get the 80s. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That is, no. Fraternity guys? No. Yes. We don't have time for that. Yes. Ooh. Nobody else. Me? Oh, stop it. Excuse me? Yeah, you played. Did you play? You got smacked and had to walk? No, he didn't. I guarantee you don't. If he couldn't jump it when he was 7'1", you think he went? You did. In college at LSU. Stop it. Ask him about me. Yes.
Well, you used to hit that after dunks?
LSU.
At dunks.
Which fraternity? Omega. She's dog.
Is that what that was? Diesel after dunks, right? That happened in college, yes?
But Smitty, no, and Kerr, no, and me.
I guarantee you can do a step right now. Yeah. You remember that. Do a step.
Go.
Go.
Hiya! Get it! Shot! His knee hurt! His back! Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he did.
Joins us here at Sun Air Canada Center because he's going to be the host of the Dunk King. That looks outstanding, man. How was it?
Oh, man, the show was amazing. You know, we had guys from all over the world come to compete, and we found some of the best dunkers. We saw people jump over fire, saw people jump, over ladders. And Shaq actually owes me $5,000 right now for charity, and I just wanted to call you out on that.
For doing what?
What's your address?
I gave you have my address to send me the money.
No, I sent it. FedEx.
You
next day. You better check with FedEx. I sent that money.
I see the light, the pink and green.
Greetings, sorors and friends. On January 15, 1908, a group of young collegiate women gathered in Minor Hall on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. to organize Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. These 16 women, just one generation out of slavery, envisioned the world where every man, woman, and child had equal access to health care, housing, proper nutrition, education, and civil rights. For more than a century, Alpha Kappa Alpha women have been at the forefront of every major social, civic, and humanitarian movement in this nation.
tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place.
7 young men founded a brotherhood committed to the cause of freedom. Today, over 125,000 members strong, the Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha continue this fight. W.E.B. Du Bois, Jesse Owens, Duke Ellington, Edward Brooke, Thurgood Marshall, Andrew Young, and Martin Luther King Jr. are among the countless Alpha men who have dedicated their lives to scholarship, manly deeds, and love for all mankind. The history of these men is the history of America, and their place in the vanguard of African American progress is unparalleled. This is the story of Alpha Phi Alpha's century of leadership.
When most of us think of fraternities, these images come to mind. But there's much more. They develop leaders, promote brotherhood, academic excellence, and a call to service. This is true of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and one man in particular, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
While we were in the process of organizing our pledge group, we were informed that there was going to be a theology major. So we were intimidated, felt we're not going to be able to have as much fun.
It was thanks to Alpha Phi Alpha that I met Martin Luther King.
I was General Secretary of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. One of our initiatives was the 50th anniversary of the birth of the fraternity. He wasn't very well known at that moment, but when he finished talking that Sunday afternoon to that packed audience, everybody knew who Dr. King was when we got through.
Hi, I'm Hill Harper, and it's been 60 years since global human rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. answered the call and became part of the pioneering brotherhood of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. After over a century of activism and leadership, the fraternity stands tall as our brother is forever immortalized with the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Tonight, in this BET News special, you will hear the untold story of Dr. King's life as an Alpha Phi Alpha brother and how our pioneering brotherhood helped him launch the first battles of the civil rights movement.
What's up, everyone? It's Lauren with the BobbyPin.com, and we're here with the one and only Mr. Roland Martin. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Great. I see you're here at Howard, the Mecca, rocking your Alpha Phi Alpha
That's
apparel.
right. I'm here. The president invited me out, so I'm glad to hang out with him and see lots of friends out here, so having a good time.
Absolutely. I overheard you talking a little trash. What makes Alpha the #1 fraternity?
Easy. We were the first, and we are the first black collegiate Greek letter organization. Everybody come after us. They're number of imitators. And so, as I tell them, Alpha's all y'all daddy.
I believe in forgiveness. I believe in trying to work with people. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
You do not consider him a legitimate president. Why is that?
I think the Russians participated in helping this man get elected, and they helped destroy the candidacy of Hillary Clinton.
When I walked through that door, Dr. King said, "Are you the boy from Troy? Are you John Lewis?" And I said, "Dr. King, I am John Robert Lewis." So from that moment on, he started calling me the boy from Troy.
One of the most courageous persons of the civil rights movement, Congressman John Lewis has dedicated his life to protecting human rights, securing civil liberties, and building what he calls the beloved community in America.
We had to march. Selma was a place where people could not register to vote. People had stood in unmovable lines. There was a tremendous amount of fear.
When we got to the top of the bridge, the highest point on the bridge, down below we saw a sea of blue Alabama state troopers. And we continued to walk.
I had a concussion at the bridge. I thought I saw death. I thought I was going to die.
You look at the real giants in our fraternity. Modern days, you think of John Lewis, who almost gave his life on more than one occasion for civil rights.
This living legend never forgets his Sigma roots and returns at every opportunity to embrace the brotherhood at conventions and conferences.
That we made a commitment that we were going to do our part to bring down those signs that said white waiting, colored waiting, white men, colored men, white women. We were prepared to die for what we believed in.
Page 38 of the history book. In the building of the organizational plan. See, what was the niggas thinking about? That's what was the niggas thinking? Because you gonna sit up in 1904, just got your ass whipped in Reconstruction, just had Africa divided up before your very eyes, colonialized up the butt, just after the fake emancipation, Civil War, slavery, some still in slavery, you can't pee in a white toilet, you can't eat in a white restaurant. This is fucking 54 years before Rosa Parks. You understand what period we in? We talking about you got to lean way over to go Greek. That's right. There ain't even no radio or TV yet, so somebody had to tell you about them. You couldn't even read about them. You couldn't see nothing about them or hear nothing about them. There was no TV and no radio in 1904. So when you talking about you gonna set yourself up like tenants of Skull and Bones at Yale, you better believe somebody in around this boule, and we checking on this history of Minton, may have been a Skull and Bones at Yale his damn self.
Right. Pass. Passing for what?
Passing for what? In the building of the organization plan, reliance was placed upon Greek history and tradition. See, a nigga tell you, say ask them niggas in that. I say, now look, hey, in the fraternity and sorority thing, hey, y'all really Greek or y'all like African on the slide? They say, no, brother, it's really African. Organizational plan, reliance was placed on Greek history. So when you confront them, they gonna swear it ain't a Greek thing. And you gonna tell them, say, well, I seen your thing, and I know your thing is Greek from the jump. And no subordinate boule, archon, can ever deviate from the structure and the guidelines laid down by people in the organization higher than them. So when you're in a hierarchy, you are controlled from the top down. The bottom could be honest people, but they must do what the top tell them. That's the deal. Acquaintance with Western civilization. Although Greek culture had relations with the culture of the Orient, hold it now. Seemed like they skipped over somebody. Let me go back. You see, this might not just be an affirmation of Greek, but this is a denial of Africa. This is more than just, I'm for this. This is, I must not even recognize any other.
A member and a participating honorary member of this fraternity and what it stands for and the principles. I think that this is a very, very significant day in my life and development and growth. It's one thing when you serve alone, it's another when you serve as a part of a family and a movement. And I feel that I have submerge with a ocean rather than remain a single drop. And let us serve and flood together those forces that are negative and be a force for all that is good.
No justice, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
As organizers of the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, the National Action Network assembled more than 250,000 in Washington, D.C. to call on Congress to work towards the fulfillment of Dr. King's dream for jobs and justice.
Welcome one of our true heroes. A man who needs no introduction. A man who's going to fire us up. A man who is the president of the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Dr. King and those that fought with him, they fought and
Brother Sharpton is humbled to be part of the 100-year-old fraternity.
I'm very honored and grateful to become a member and a participating honorary member of this fraternity and what it stands for and the principles. I think that this is a very significant day in my life.
His voice is heard around the world as he makes no apologies for the truth.
we've come too far to turn back now.
Defiant, uncompromising, compassionate. Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity at its Centennial Gala celebration is proud to present Reverend Al Sharpton, the Founders Day Service Award.
All right, 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is staying true to his word on the national anthem. Last night, he again refused to stand for the anthem before a preseason game in San Diego. This time, though, he was not alone. Carter Evans is at Qualcomm Stadium, where the game was played. Carter, good morning.
Good morning. This time a fellow player also refused to stand. Now, this was a silent protest, but it was amplified here because San Diego is a big military town. Still, Kaepernick says he is not going to stand up and show pride for a country that he says oppresses people of color.
For the ramparts we'd watch.
While the national anthem played, Colin Kaepernick knelt on one knee, joined this time by safety Eric Reed.
We came up with taking a knee to try to show more respect to the men and women that fight for this country.
We don't buy no drinks at the bar. We pop champagne cause we got that dough. Let me hear you say
What are you going to do against it? I think those are very valid points, and Kaepernick has to play extremely well in order for San Francisco to win.
You know, he's played lousy.
It's been awful. Yeah. But, you know, he's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Yeah.
Stand by. Right. I'm just saying.
You get the pass with you.
You will see that we have in fact cracked a riddle that has contained our people. Our people have been contained by an organized element of secret people who have used riddles, mysteries, and secret societies to jam us. And what we are doing is we are unlocking or decodifying the mystery, because once decodified and exposed, those who are secret in the light will not be as effective. Which must be our goal, since liberation is not theirs. You can't liberate as a Greek. You can't liberate in the name of Greece.